There is no shortcut to greatness. We set a goal, a target that to others may seem unreachable.
Being the first woman to complete the qualifying course is definitely a dream of mine.
We train, and we strive, and sometimes we come up short. So we go back to work. And then, when our name is called again,
It's Casey Catanzaro.
we dig deep and push past the pain until we stand triumphant on top of that mountain.
History has been made! The first woman ever to complete the qualifying course.
And everyone else's mountains shrink before them.
It's me versus the course.
You only get one shot.
The sky's the limit. You can do anything you want at any time you want.
It's consumed me. I want to make history.
And it starts all over again.
We're in downtown St. Louis, the first time American Ninja Warrior has ever traveled to the great Midwest. Competitors from all walks of life have gathered just steps from the world-famous Gateway Arch to test themselves on an incredibly challenging qualifying course. I'm Matt Iseman alongside former NFL defensive end Akbar Gbaja-Biamila, and thanks for being with us on our first ever visit to the Gateway City. Now we're looking at unseasonably chilly and potentially wet conditions here in St. Louis, but a little cold won't deter our ninjas. For them, it's just another obstacle. Now, last week, it was Tornado Casey who ripped through the Dallas qualifying round. Casey Catanzaro, just 5 feet tall and 100 pounds, became the first woman ever to scale the warped wall. Now, Akbar, who will the standouts be here in St. Louis?
Well, Matt, we have an abundance of talent. Tonight, we'll see the Tennessee trader, Travis Rosen. He's one of the most respected athletes in the ninja world. He was chosen as one of the 5 All-Stars that defeated the Japanese in last year's USA versus Japan competition. Also competing, Joe the Weatherman Moravsky, who came out of nowhere last season and made it all the way to stage 3 in the Las Vegas finals.
In addition to tough weather conditions, all the ninjas will face some brand new obstacles here in St. Louis. For more on that, let's go down to Jenn Brown.
Thanks, guys. The St. Louis qualifying course is made up of 6 obstacles, but 2 of them have never been seen before on American Ninja Warrior. And like in every city, it all starts right here with the quintuple steps. Competitors will run across 5 alternating platforms, each just 3 feet wide. On the rolling log, they'll have to wrap themselves around the log and hang on for the thrill ride all the way down. The Bridge of Blades requires the athletes to run across the rotating axle, dodging spinning blades all the way across. Then it's on to our first of 2 new obstacles, rope swing into cargo net. Competitors must bounce from the mini tramp, swing and transfer from one rope to the next, then leap to the cargo net and climb down the underside to the platform. Then it's another new obstacle. The double tilt ladder requires tremendous upper body strength and balance as competitors will move across 2 sets of tilting monkey bars. And last but not least, it's the infamous warped wall. Competitors will scale this 14-foot wall, hoist themselves up onto the platform, hit that buzzer, do this, and they have guaranteed themselves a spot in the St. Louis City Finals. Guys?
Thanks, Jen. Starting us off tonight, it's Pavel Fisu. He's an exterminator, and I think that's a first for us. But he believes it's great training to be a ninja warrior.
I'm an exterminator. Raccoons, skunks, bedbugs, you name it, we'll get rid of it. Skunks can cause a lot of damage. Once I got sprayed in the face, and for the next month, my eyeball would smell. I would even walk around and tell people to smell my eyeball. My training, I would say, is unconventional. I jump in ice-cold water just to see if I can do it. No one's ever conquered the course, but I'm the machine, and I don't give up at all.
And look at this, Akbar. The exterminator has taken a selfie, no doubt to savor this moment.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That might be the first ever on-course selfie.
Well, clearly amused by it is his wife, Emily, holding their 11-month-old son, Dominic. Pavel says chasing down animals in attics and crawl spaces will have him ready for this course.
Well, he's 6 foot, 195 pounds. By ninja standards, that's a big guy.
Being a big guy should help him here on the rolling log. Allows him to get his arms around, get a better grip. Nicely done. And see, his family likes what they're seeing as they're all wearing Team Fisuk shirts. Oh! The exterminator got exterminated out on the Bridge of Blades.
Now remember, he's a heavier guy, so when he lands on the second plate, it starts falling fast. His 2-footed jump has no chance.
Next on the starting blocks, a 30-year-old scientist from Lebanon, Indiana, who grew up unafraid of a little hard work. This is Emily Rose.
I grew up on a farm in a really small town in Indiana with livestock and fields, the whole bit. Working straw and hay in the summer really built my upper body strength. When you have animals, you end up shoveling a lot of not so nice stuff. So it's a lot of hard work, and I think from a young age, I was built to do something like this.
Well, in addition to all that farm work as a kid, she was a standout in basketball, track, and gymnastics in high school. She earned her Bachelor's of Science at Purdue, and now she's researching a cure for cancer. She said she chose that career path while in high school when she lost a close friend to cancer. She's been dedicated to finding a cure ever since. And so far, so good for the farm girl from Indiana.
Well, Matt, you know, the rolling log is going to test Emily's grip strength as well as her core and legs. She's going to have to just squeeze that log and make sure she uses her entire body.
There's fellow ninjas and friends Amy Padgett and Jamie Ron rooting Emily on. Oh! Rhodes can't hold on and is tossed off the rolling log.
It looked like she was going to make it, but near the end, it got faster, and her grip strength gave out in her right hand, and she couldn't recover.
Up next, he's a 21-year-old college student from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Brant Axt. And he says watching this show actually turned his life around.
In 8th grade, I was 5 foot 8 inches, and I was only 90 pounds. My anorexia came from being inspired by the perfect athletic form as being skinny. But when I saw Ninja Warrior athletes from all walks of life and every body shape imaginable, and how strong they were and capable at completing the course, it told me that strength wasn't about being skinny. I started doing calisthenics exercises and bodyweight exercises. I gained 60 pounds in 6 months. If I hadn't seen Ninja Warrior and been inspired by those athletes, it would have lasted a lot longer. And I was on the edge of doing very serious damage to my body. But it's amazing to think about how much I can do now with my life and where I've come from.
Such an inspiring story. Always great to hear how American Ninja Warrior positively affects people's lives.
Yeah, it's his first time on the course, and he's had some foot injuries, so he's taking a cautious approach on the steps here.
With that approach, Brant makes it through the first obstacle and now onto the rolling log. He's a mechanical engineering student at the University of Minnesota, so I'm guessing he understands the physics of the rolling log.
Wow, so far he doesn't look like a rookie on this course.
Oh! The first competitor across the Bridge of Blades. Got to guess with that engineering background, I'm sure he's analyzed these obstacles in his mind, tried and find an advantage. Oh! Oh my goodness! Cannot figure out the cargo net. Look at this replay, Akbar.
Brant made his leap too early. He's barely on the upswing when he decides to make this move. He should have held on longer to reach the peak of his swing before making his jump.
Let's go to Jenn Brown.
All right, Brant, what went wrong out there? What happened?
I can't say my fingers. I had the rope in my hands. I thought for sure it was in there. I don't know how it slipped out. It's beyond me right now.
Well, it was an inspirational story of you getting here. We appreciate you coming out and competing, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you next season.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jenn. Well, up next from Findlay, Ohio, it's 45-year-old Jim Steffen. He's a father of 4, but he's dedicating his run tonight to his youngest daughter, Maddie, who faces her own obstacles every day.
The reason I started to get into American Ninja Warrior is to raise awareness for cystic fibrosis. My 18-month daughter has CF, and what CF is, it's a genetic disease where they have thick mucus in their lungs and their intestines, so they have to fight for every breath. For CF children, jumping up on obstacles, running in place will actually break up the mucus in the lungs. So fitness is so key for CF kids.
And there's Team Stefan here to cheer him on, his wife Diane and his 3 other children. Of course, his 18-month-old daughter Maddie, who suffers from CF, is unable to be here in person. She's home watching Daddy take on this course. It's great he's out here raising awareness. You can see all the neon colors in the stands. Those are people supporting him and supporting his daughter. This guy last year tore his bicep on the course in Baltimore, had surgery, and he's back.
He wants to engage not only his upper body, but also his lower body.
And screaming all the way down. Jim Stefan, all 6 feet, 206 pounds of him. Nicely done. Oh, and look at that, a burpee before the Bridge of Blades. Stefan clearly fired up right now. His kid's telling him to go fast. Oh, he is throwing his whole body into this. I love the passion. But now the rope swing, which may be a test for a bigger, less limber guy.
The rope swing into cargo net, so taxing on the shoulders and arms.
He's a little hung up here. Remember, he's 45 years old, and he's expending a lot of energy. Oh, but a good transition, and Stefan alive on the cargo net. Well, it was a similar obstacle last year where he detached his bicep, so it has to be a relief to get through that. But now, 206 pounds, it's a lot of mass on Jim Stefan. The first competitor reached the 5th obstacle, but the double tilt ladder could be a difficult obstacle for him.
Can he use his upper body strength to make it through the double tilt?
You have to go up the rungs, and about halfway through, it's going to tilt back down. Right there. But he recovers. What an inspiration it would be if he could get through this course.
But now he's got to swing over the other ladder. Oh, there you go. Makes a smooth transition.
Look at those arms, that bicep, just amazing to think that surgically repaired arm. Holding him strong, but misses that reach. He's in trouble.
The longer he hangs.
Oh! Oh! Just gave everything he had, but Jim Stefan's arms refused to cooperate, goes out on the double tilt ladder.
Look at it again. He couldn't quite reach that last rung, and that's usually a sign of fatigue, but a great run for a 45-year-old.
There's Stefan greeting his family. Now remember, if we don't have 30 athletes finish the course, those who went the farthest, the fastest, will advance to the St. Louis City Finals. So Jim will just have to wait to see if his time holds up. We're just getting started here in St. Louis. Coming up, male model Rob the Adonis Borowski has spent his life building the perfect body. Now he'll put his great hair and chiseled chest to the test. Plus, one of our strongest female athletes returns for another crack at the course. Can Michelle Warnke scale the summit in St. Louis? And later, professional wrestler Matt Capaccioni knows how to dish out punishment.
I don't think a part of me is a kid that hasn't grown up. I think all of me is a kid that hasn't grown up.
But can he deliver a knockout here in St. Louis? All that and more when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior. Our first time in St. Louis is a little chilly, but the weather isn't keeping our competitors off this course. Eric Villanueva waited in the walk-on line for days for a chance to run. But the mechanic from Kansas City had a head-on collision at the Bridge of Blades. Shakita Hudson, a healthcare worker from Golden Valley, Michigan, gave it her best shot, but the 40-year-old mother of 5 couldn't get past the rolling log. Julie Laurie, a 39-year-old stay-at-home mom from Edgewood, Kentucky, made it to the 3rd obstacle before being blocked by the Bridge of Blades. Ronald Schmidt, a Pennsylvania furniture maker, tried to make the transition on the double tilt ladder once, twice, 3 times, before finally succeeding on the 4th try, and then promptly fell due to exhaustion. On the course right now out of Greenwood, Indiana, 46-year-old Bill Westrick, a man known as Wild Bill Westrick, the world's greatest plumber.
I am the world's greatest plumber. Not St. Louis' greatest plumber, the world's greatest plumber. You haven't heard? WGP, baby. There can be only one. 46 years old? Am I really 46 years old? It doesn't feel like 46 years old here. It feels like 46 years young. I think that being the world's greatest plumber, ninja, at 46 years old, does inspire people. They might see me and they say, maybe I'll get off the couch and I'll go do some training and I'll try and kick some ninja butt.
Let's go, Bill! Wild Bill's wife, his daughter, and his training partner all came over from Indiana to cheer him on.
You know, hard to believe this guy is a grandfather. He looks good for 46.
Wild Bill's got a background in racing, competes in go-karts and four-wheelers, even won a national title a few years ago.
He's a plumber, and plumbers have strong hands, so he's well suited for this obstacle.
Unfortunately, the plumber ends up wet on the rolling log.
He was so close. Take a look. As he nears the landing pad, his left hand and right foot slips, and gravity takes over. You know, if he had held on for just another second, he would have stayed dry.
Wild Bill Westrick, the world's greatest plumber, out.
My hand slipped off. I bit the dust.
Up next, sporting his title belt, the self-proclaimed American Ninja Warrior champion of the world. He's a professional wrestler from Brecksville, Ohio. It's Matt Cappuccioni.
I don't think a part of me is a kid that hasn't grown up. I think all of me is a kid that hasn't grown up. I went to college, I got a degree, I had an interest in architecture, but all of a sudden here came that carrot of wrestling and it was like, oh, what, wait, I don't have to grow up? I can wake up at noon? I can punch people for a living? Professional wrestling is this crazy world where that is okay. I'm a soldier of fortune. I've been to 18 different countries now, so I just go wherever the money is, wherever the competition is. Wrestling's a great outlet for me to just be that entertainer that I am all the time. I get in the ring, I have fun, and then I think that fun is contagious.
I'm a wrestling fan, so you know I love this guy already.
Matt wrestles in shows across the Midwest, but at 5'6", 184 pounds, doesn't have the typical pro wrestler's body.
Well, before he got into wrestling, he had a background in gymnastics, so that's gonna really help him here on the course. He's gonna have to put a move on the rolling log right now.
Oh, Cappuccioni, ever the showman, showing off the goods on the rolling log. He's made some female fans here tonight.
Look at Cappuccioni, bear hug that log. Oh,
Little trouble.
Look at that maneuver. That looks like a wrestling maneuver right there.
The Undertaker hasn't come for him yet. Right through the bridge of blades.
Well, I tell you, you have to have respect for wrestlers. So many people think it's just an entertainment factory, but it's more than that. And right now, Cappuccioni's showing it.
Showing off the gymnastic skills. Looking like he's done this before. And onto the cargo net. And he completes it. Matt Cappuccioni showing his might. The wrestler nods to the crowd.
Oh yeah, and they're showmen too.
Power of that beard. Now onto the double tilt ladder. 5'6", all muscle for Cappuccioni.
You know, each ladder is 10.5 feet in length, so when you combine both ladders and the 6-foot gap between them, that's 27 feet of obstacle. That's a long way to go when you're hanging by your hands.
Good transition out of the 5'6" Cappuccioni. Looking very comfortable. Again, keep in mind, a champion gymnast here. So not lacking in upper body strength whatsoever. Looking very comfortable here on the ladders.
Really controlling all of his body weight.
And Matt Cappuccioni has completed the 5th obstacle.
Look at that. He knows how to play the crowd.
The last remaining opponent for the wrestler is the Warped Wall.
Take it home!
If he can defeat it, he earns a trip to the St. Louis City Finals. He's got 3 shots at glory.
Not even close on the first attempt.
Okay, so if I'm Matthew Cappuccioni right now, I'm thinking about getting to the top of the turnbuckle right now. This is one of those moves where you just have to run as fast as you can to get to the top. Oh, he leaned too far forward, and his momentum carried him into the wall.
Cappuccioni breathing heavily. Keep in mind, it's unseasonably cold here in St. Louis.
Looks like he's honestly befuddled by the Warped Wall. Hasn't come close on his first 2 attempts, and I don't know that he has the technique or, quite honestly, the endurance to get up it right now. Final attempt. Cappuccioni comes up short. But a good effort by the professional wrestler. The best of 3 falls goes to the Warped Wall. Let's go to Jenn Brown.
What happened?
I'm happy. I've never been face-to-face with that Warped Wall. You know, I'm not the biggest guy, and that thing is huge. I don't have my own gym. I haven't gone to a gym that has one. But it's okay, you know, I thought my sex appeal, my determination, my confidence was gonna carry me through next year.
Well, you've got something to go home and practice because you got the other 3 things down, all right?
Right on, I appreciate
Great
it.
job, guys.
Thank you.
Back up to you.
Coming up, the stakes are raised for rookie Amy Pagic.
I definitely think a woman could be the first American Ninja Warrior.
But can she gallop through this course? Plus, former military man Roland Seward snaps to attention. But can he salute the crowd atop the Warped Wall? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns.
Catanzaro looking to make history. Utter silence in the crowd.
It still gives me goosebumps. Casey's run has definitely inspired our competitors. Jenn Brown is standing by with 2 of them.
Thanks, Matt. I'm down here with 2 very impressive female athletes, Michelle Warnke, Amy Pagic. Amy, last week, Casey Catanzaro making a little history. The first woman ever to make it up the Warped Wall. What kind of inspiration can you draw from her run competing as a rookie tonight?
Oh, she's incredible. She showed the world that girls can do it too. You don't have to be a guy. You can be a girl and go out and get it.
I like it. I like it. So Casey's setting the bar high. Michelle, do you think now we're going to see more women successfully completing the course?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. I know a lot of ladies here who are really good, so I'm expecting good things.
Well, I hope, and I'm expecting to see both of you hitting that buzzer tonight. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, back up to you.
Up next on the starting block, he was born in Russia, but now calls Brooklyn, New York his home. He's a stuntman whose amazing feats have turned heads and netted him over 3 million views on YouTube. He's 36-year-old Oleg Osayenko, better known as Super Oleg.
I work in film production as stuntman, and right now I use these skills in my YouTube videos. Comedy, action, visual effects, some violence. Because people like comedy and violence. I think I can be first American Ninja Warrior because I'm super alive.
Super Oleg's been an American now for 7 years. Came all the way over from Russia, if you couldn't have guessed. We're happy to have him here tonight to try out his superpowers on this qualifying course.
But that just lets you know how far American Ninja Warrior goes. I mean, it is an international thing. People from all over the world wanting to test their skills.
Super Oleg looking super comfortable on the course. Well, this is a guy who makes his living making YouTube videos, but he actually has a master's degree from the Moscow Nuclear Research University.
Say what?
An incredibly intelligent guy, but is a stuntman as well. Who's in many Russian films, taking falls. Has a background in boxing, kickboxing, gymnastics, climbing, and snowboarding.
Yeah, not to mention, stunt work is also a discipline that relates well to American Ninja Warrior. You learn how to take a fall and get back up again, and how to react quickly for crazy situations.
Now onto the double tilt ladder, doing quite well for a rookie.
5'10", 130 pounds. His slender body type should work to his advantage here on the double tilt ladder.
The Cold War is since over, but this cold night is being warmed up by the performance of Oleg Osayenko. Oh! Just loses his grip on the second ladder, and as quickly as you can say it, Oleg Osayenko out on the double tilt ladder.
You know, Super Oleg just miscalculated the transition, lost his grip, and that cost him right there, and he's in that water, and it is cold.
Well, Super Oleg hit his kryptonite on his way through the double tilt ladder. He's out of the competition. Well, normally this is where we introduce the next competitor, but I think we'll just let Roland introduce himself.
My name is Roland Seward. I currently live in Mount Vernon, New York. I am 30 years old, and I was in the Navy for 9 years. I've been married for almost 5 years now to my beautiful wife, Dr. Kina Seward.
I can't wait to watch him become the first American Ninja Warrior.
I like to keep myself fit by participating in the local races.
Roland uses his hands for more than just snapping.
The reason why I got into sign language is because my wife, Kina, is an audiologist, and she wanted to further her education by learning sign language. She brought me along, and now it's all the rest is history.
You got this! This is what you've been training for!
And there is his wife, Kina. She works with the hearing impaired community through NYU and is currently pursuing her master's degree in speech therapy. This is Roland's first time on American Ninja Warrior. Last year, waited in the walk-on line in Baltimore, but time ran out, didn't get to run. Served in the U.S. Navy for 9 years, now a massage therapist. Roland says he's been training for American Ninja Warrior his entire life. 2 years old, he broke his leg jumping off a chair. 12 years old, started doing backflips off his mom's roof. He was made for this. Woo, nifty footwork through the bridge of blades. Now, I'm not sure I believe him, but he claims he has a 54-inch vertical leap.
Well, he might not need the trampoline if that's the case.
That's a 10-foot distance up to the first rope. Now an effortless swing to the cargo net.
Boy, he is moving with some good speed here.
Of course, never trained on a double tilt ladder. See what his approach here will be.
Well, you know, he's got a little dance background too, and so you can see he's moving with a little bit of rhythm here.
Great pace through the double tilt ladder. 5'10", 183, and this is a muscular guy, and he's making it look easy.
Well, what he's doing is he's turning his body so that when he's at the end of the second ladder, he'll be facing the landing platform, and boom, just like that.
And his wife, Kina, liking what she's seeing out of her husband. Only the warped wall remaining. Well, let's see what he's got. Oh! Right up the warped wall. Roland Seward is the first finisher of the night.
What an impressive run. Remember, this guy's never been on the course before, and he ran up the warped wall like a veteran.
Let's go down to Jenn, who's with Roland right now.
Thanks, Roland. Get over here. Great job out there. Now, I know last season you tried to walk on. You didn't make it. What did it mean to stand up there on that warp wall and hit that buzzer tonight?
In the rain, I stood in Baltimore for a long time, and to hit that button was a dream come true.
Can we get a little dance? Oh, yeah, you're already doing a dance move to take us out. Got good moves here. Matt, back up to you.
Coming up, Jamie Ron, a.k.a. Captain NBC, is bringing his superhero skills to St. Louis. Plus, after a devastating accident, Carlos Canadilla had to pick up the pieces.
There might be some obstacles and some big hurdles, but we'll get over them.
Can he fight his way to the St. Louis City Finals? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to a chilly night in St. Louis. While we were away, a few more runners had their chance on the course. Lexington, Kentucky grad student Brendan Kelly made a return to the course after breaking his foot in qualifying last season. This veteran competitor made it look easy until one mistake at the cargo net. And he just went early on the transition. Another veteran, New York stuntman Louis Mosso, was expecting a return trip to Vegas, but he shockingly had an early exit on the rolling log. And Scott Maxson, who calls himself the Ninja Jester, was no joke on the course. He entertained the crowd at the cargo net and again at the warped wall. But he came up inches short from reaching the top.
And for costume competitors like Scott Maxon, one of the true inspirations is the guy at the starting line right now. It's Captain NBC Jamie Rahn from Barrington, New Jersey. Looks like Jamie's debuting a fresh Captain NBC costume while retaining his signature superhero style.
So, Captain NBC originated back from a Halloween costume I had. In the previous years, I've painted myself for the costume. This year, I went full out and got a full-on costume. Sometimes I think I may lead the way for some costume competitors. Whether I do or not, I like that I'm kind of in that group of people who like to have fun with the course. If you stretch yourself out too much, you're gonna make a stupid mistake, and you wanna relax, have fun, make it all the way to the end.
Jamie's parents have made their way down to the railing for a better view. Here's his girlfriend, Michelle, out in full support. Ron on the course. Off to a slow start here, especially considering he's a superhero.
Yeah, I think he's worried about the weather making these steps a little slippery.
This is his 5th season competing on American Ninja Warrior. Each year, he's done better than the last. He's through the quintuple steps, so his cautious approach paid off. See how he attacks the rolling log.
This obstacle right here has taken out a lot of the other veterans tonight, but not Jamie Rahn.
Ron has tremendous grip strength, can rip a full deck of cards in half with his bare hands. Wow! Nothing cautious about how he just blew through the bridge of blades.
He says he's done a lot of work on his upper body for obstacles just like this.
This may be the best run I've ever seen from Jamie Rahn.
Look at Captain NBC go.
Ron now onto the double tilt ladder. So impressed with Jamie, suffered a brain cyst many years ago, still suffers from migraines, but says he manages it with diet and exercise.
5'10", 160 pounds. You can tell he's been working on those arms since last season. Look at him.
And look at that, Ron bypassing a run, clearly in full control. Now the transition to the other ladder. It's a 6-foot gap between them. Lightning bolts on his pants. Captain NBC is getting serious. Makes the dismount. And with just the warped wall left, Captain NBC is nearly 8 seconds ahead of Roland Seward.
There it is, Alpin. Captain NBC stands atop the warp wall. An excellent run out of Jamie Rahn. And a little dance.
Look at him. Hey, I see it. Do we have a Captain NBC stance? What's that stance look like?
The superhero Captain NBC standing atop the warp wall. He's moving on to the city finals.
After starting off slow on the quintuple steps, Jamie quickened the pace and was able to finish with the fastest time of the night so far.
So our resident superhero has raised the bar here on the St. Louis City qualifying course. Up next on the starting blocks, one of the oldest athletes competing here tonight. This is 50-year-old Carlos Canadilla. He's an office product salesman from Poughkeepsie, New York. There's a lot more to his story. This is a guy who lost his memory, lost everything really, and is slowly rebuilding his life.
5 years ago, I was climbing with my buddy John.
It was about 280 feet up from here.
And I fell. Well, I had a seizure, went out cold, ended up in a hospital. I had extreme memory loss. A lot of things just left my mind. I definitely felt like I was in a bad dream. I had to relearn my life and start all over. And I was so scared.
I actually realized this is as bad as it gets. I don't want to be here.
I gotta get my act together, I gotta get my memory back, I gotta get healthy again. And I started working out.
I am much stronger than I was before my accident.
I'm proud of where I am right now. I love where I am. I love that I'm 50 and feel like I feel and can do what I can do. And it's just incredible.
Just an amazing story to imagine what this man's been through. Came all the way from Poughkeepsie, New York to take his shot at the course. It's his first time, really wants to finish. I think that would show just how far he really has come back.
You know, that's true adversity, Matt. And right now, he's facing a different type of adversity, especially as a rookie. Coming here to American Ninja Warrior, he has one thing that he wants to do, and that's prove to himself, prove to the other people that he can overcome.
Woke up to find out that he was divorced, unemployed, and uninsured. Had to relive those painful memories all over again.
That's some heavy stuff, Matt. You have to hit the bridge of blade like you live. That's hard and fast. Or you will get hit.
And a good leap, and Carlos gets
Crawl,
through.
baby, crawl.
Just looking at him, this guy does not look 50 years old. In tremendous shape is Carlos Canadia. I just love seeing the smile on his face.
The rope swing to cargo net, the first test of his grip strength.
Oh, missed the second rope.
He tried to get that Tarzan swing going, but he used the wrong hand. Ooh, he's starting to slip there. That left hand starting to get really close to the black tape.
Oh! That's his feet on the net. And Carlos is still alive. I love it. I love the approach out of the 50-year-old.
You see, that's what you get with age. You get a little bit of that smarts. Okay, so I don't have the upper body strength like a 20-year-old, but I have the brains to allow me to maneuver. You know, it's a good thing Carlos is a rock climber because he'll need that experience to get through the double tilt ladder. It's a true test of the upper body.
Look at those arms. Those are not the arms of a 50-year-old.
Carlos is taking us back in time right now. Look at him go.
Makes short work of the first ladder.
I'm pretty sure there's a misprint here. This is a 30-year-old making his way through here.
Oh, saves it again. This guy won't quit.
Only as young as you feel, and right now, Carlos Canadia turning back the clock.
Matt, what we're seeing here is a product of a man who's fought through adversity. He won't let anything stop him.
Right now, we're seeing a 50-year-old one obstacle away from punching his ticket to the city finals.
He looks tired, but I want to see if he can get those 50-year-old legs up the warped wall.
5'9", 180 pounds, solidly built, a lot to get up that wall. Oh, misses on his first attempt.
Matt, Carlos jumped way too early. It's all about running up the ladders and exploding to the top.
Second attempt. Oh, about 2 inches from the lip. But Carlos looking tired right now.
Last attempt. He has to keep his knees underneath him as he runs up the wall so he gets the maximum amount of thrust.
You got it, my man.
Final attempt for Carlos Canadia. Oh! Touches the top, but can't hold on. Carlos Canadia's run comes to an end at the warp wall.
It came to an end because he didn't have the technique to generate that speed. But look how close he got. He had his fingers on the top of the wall. He was that close, but couldn't pull himself up.
A courageous, a determined performance out of Carlos Canadia. Had he made it up the wall, he'd be guaranteed a spot in the finals, but now Carlos will have to wait and see if he'll end up in the top 30. And many of our best athletes will be running soon.
Coming up, Brent Ruffin, the Redneck Ninja, is locked and loaded. And his target is the city finals. Plus, Michelle Warkey has the will and the skills.
I want to be the course really badly.
Will she become the second woman ever to stand atop the warp wall? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to St. Louis, where we're starting to see some success on this course. Firefighter Dan Polizzi looked like a hero from the start.
He's going straight for it.
And the veteran from Oswego, Illinois, burned up the course to become just the third finisher of the night. Then it was time for the A train, Adam Min. This crash test engineer from Columbus, Ohio, got into trouble on the double tilt ladder.
That second ladder is moving.
But the A train wouldn't give up, finally figuring it out and finishing the course. Just 21 years old, walk-on Justin Ebert came all the way from Virginia to try his luck on the course, but his journey ended at the cargo net. Oh! And there were high hopes for policewoman Taryn Humphrey. You got it, babe! This former Olympic gymnastics silver medalist thought she could make it to the warp wall, but shockingly went out on the quintuple steps. Well, on the course now, one of the women we've been waiting for. This is Michelle Warnke. She is a beloved figure, a sort of den mother to many of the competitors because she hosts Ninja Warrior competitions in her hometown of Columbus, Ohio. But she's not just a popular competitor, she's also one of the strongest women we'll see.
American Ninja Warrior is just a goal that I am going after. Regardless of whether I'm male, female, anything, I love a challenge.
This is worth 2.
Yeah?
Anything inside is worth 1.
All right.
I remember back when the other neighborhood kids that were older, and they were all guys, and they were arguing about who was the best football player in the neighborhood after Michelle.
Yeah, she made it!
I think it was about 2 years ago that we put American Ninja Warrior on and watched it. She said, you know I could do that.
I know guys are faster, I know guys are stronger, I know they're more powerful. So I know there are things that they're gonna be better at, and I have to work really hard to keep up.
I would look at Michelle as somebody that's not gonna let anything stop her. She is gonna do everything she can to go as far on that course as she possibly can.
My name is Michelle Warnke, and I'm gonna be the first American Ninja Warrior.
And there's Michelle's dad, along with her mom and some friends who made the drive from Columbus to watch her run. This woman is fearless. Spent a total of 5 years living in Kazakhstan, teaching English as a second language.
Well, Matt, Michelle looks very strong. Did you see the way she went through the quintuple step and now fighting her way on the rolling log?
Michelle has always been athletic, ran track in college at the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky.
We're gonna see what kind of agility she has here on the Bridge of Blades.
And bounds right through it. This girl, 5'4", and she just made the longest stride of her life there, getting through the Bridge of Blades. And look at the arms at 90 degrees. That's the rock climbing there. Amazing performance there on the rope swing into the cargo net. You go, girl.
And now, just like last season, Warnke's at the 5th obstacle, but can she complete it? I love the strength in this woman. Historically, women have had trouble on upper body and grip intensive obstacles, but Michelle's been rock climbing for 20 years. She is purpose-built for this course. Let's see how she makes this transition.
Look at her go.
Look at this! Amazing! No woman has come close to going this far tonight, and only a handful of men have made it here.
Within feet of completing the 5th obstacle. This girl has no quit in her. Look at the determination.
Wow!
And her training is paid off. Get that swing.
She's done it!
She's done it! Michelle Warnke joins Nika McElroy, Jessie Gruff, and Casey Catanzaro as the only women to complete 5 obstacles. Does she have the technique to get up the warp wall? Well, Casey Catanzaro was the first. Will Michelle Warnke be the second to get up the warp wall? The crowd on its feet. They know they're watching greatness here in Michelle Warnke. Turn the key to the ignition. Warnke is about to make it up the top of the warp wall. There it is! Yes, she's done! Michelle Warnke becomes just the second woman ever to complete the qualifying course. Unbelievable, Akbar. I told you at the top of the show that St. Louis had some strong competitors, and right now we are seeing that. And look at the elation as she dances atop the warp wall. You go, Michelle Warnke makes history, just the second woman to do it.
Oh my goodness, that feels so good.
Let's watch her attack the wall one more time. Remember, she's only 5'4", but she runs all the way up the letters and then explodes to the top. Let's go to Jenn Brown, who's standing by with Michelle Warnke.
Congratulations! That's amazing! You dominated the course! How did it feel to make it up the warp wall in one try, no less, and hit that buzzer?
It felt amazing. I've been dreaming about it all year, so it's awesome to do it.
You now join just Casey Catanzaro as the second woman ever to make it through the city qualifying course. What inspiration do you hope that sends to other women out there?
Yeah, we have a lot of great ladies here. I know there's a lot of potential, so I think other girls can do it tonight too.
Well, we will see you in the St. Louis City Finals. Congratulations. We're all about hugs down here, Matt. Back up to you.
Thanks, Jen. So Michelle Warnke jumps onto the leaderboard as a finisher, only the second woman ever who can say that. Now remember, the top 30, those who complete the course or go the farthest, the fastest, will move on to the St. Louis City Finals. With half our field yet to run, who else will join Michelle in the top 30? Coming up, a man with a familiar name, but not such a familiar face. Yet. Rob Borowski, AKA the Adonis, is looking to make a name for himself in the competition.
I've tuned my body where I could do anything.
Will he succeed? And later, his job is to assess risk. But Ethan Swanson believes in taking chances.
I like to jump off buildings.
Will this daredevil land atop the warp wall? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to the St. Louis qualifying round. In this baseball-obsessed city, the Cardinals have rewarded fans with 11 championships over the years. But tonight, baseball takes a backseat to American Ninja Warrior. We've hit the midway point of the city qualifier, and what a moment we just witnessed. Michelle Warnke became only the second woman ever to reach the top of the warp wall.
Just an amazing run. Do you think I was excited, Matt? I was amped. And let's put her accomplishment in perspective. In season 3, just 14 women attempted the course. No one completed the 4th obstacle. Season 4 had 51 female competitors.
We've never seen a woman complete the qualifying course.
Only Lucy Romberg reached the 5th obstacle.
Lucy Romberg coming down the devil steps, and with it, history being... No!
Last year, 89 women accepted the challenge.
Oh! She had it!
2 faced off with the warp wall. Both failed.
She comes up short.
So far this season, 60 women have tested their skills. 2 have conquered the course.
History has been made! There it is! Michelle Warnke becomes just the second woman ever to complete the qualifying course. So amazing to see the progress of our female athletes. Later tonight, we'll see if we can get another woman into the St. Louis City Finals. But now on the starting line, you know Springsteen, you know Bon Jovi. Get ready for another New Jersey hero. This is 25-year-old Joseph Heineman, a graduate student from Montclair, New Jersey, who launched a remarkable campaign to help his home state.
American Ninja Warrior. From the first time I ever saw it, I just knew it was for me. Growing up in West New Jersey, I would just run around, swing from tree to tree, jump from rocks, and make my own obstacles. So I thought I could combine 2 loves of mine, American Ninja Warrior and my home state. So I started a group on Facebook, this campaign to bring American Ninja Warrior to the Jersey Shore. Watching TV shows about New Jersey, we're getting a really bad rap. We have a lot of talent there. A lot of competitors come from that state, including myself, and I think it's a great place.
Joseph's campaign came a little too late for this year's qualifying, but who knows? In the future, maybe we will bring American Ninja Warrior to the Garden State. There's Joseph's wife, Angela, cheering for him on the sidelines, getting the crowd going with the little Joey chant. Drove all the way from New Jersey to watch her husband take on this course. And here he is as a rookie, skipping the last quintuple step. Wow, looks comfortable on the course right now, Akbar.
Well, Matt, Joseph has an interesting athletic background. He was the captain of his high school soccer and wrestling teams and was named all-conference in both.
Keep going, keep going. 5'6", 145 pounds.
Oh, he got that good leap off the mini tramp.
Oh! And a big leap for Joseph Heineman. Wow. Joseph dedicating this run tonight to his late grandfather. They watched the show together, and tonight he's competing in his honor.
He's not just competing, he's flying through this course. This is the fastest pace we've seen tonight.
It's his first time on the course, but doesn't look like it. Now the transition to the second ladder. He's got it.
He's showing us some good technique here on the double tilt ladder.
Joseph trying to power his way up. Oh, missed the grab. Saves it.
Well, another rookie with a strong performance, Joseph Hindman. Look at this. New Jersey, the Ninja State.
You know, when I see a rookie come in here and make it to the warped wall, that lets me know they've done their homework. Oh,
Comes
you've
up
done
short
your
of that
homework
first
until you've
attempt.
seen the warped wall.
5'6", really got to get his legs pumping.
There it is, right up it. And Joseph Hindman has the fastest time of the night so far. In his American Ninja Warrior debut, he just made a statement, and he crushed this course.
Joseph blasted out of the gate, skipping the 5th quintuple step, the only athlete to do that tonight. And really, the only hiccup he had was the first attempt at the wall. He came up a few inches short, but right away, he goes at it again. And this time, he makes it with ease.
Next up is a familiar name, but not such a familiar face. You may remember the weatherman, Joe Moravsky, who made it to stage 3 as a rookie last season. Well, this is his cousin, Rob Moravsky. It's his first time on the course, but trust us, this guy doesn't lack for confidence.
I was never a big kid. When I was younger, I was very small. You know, I was throwing around a lot. My dream was to be, that big guy who's, takes off his shirt at the beach and it's like, oh my God, look at that kid, You look at me now and you're looking at a machine. I've tuned my body where I could do anything. Being able to get a date, definitely easier now. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Being able to just, go out and just be like, yeah, what's up? Hey, how you doing? This is me, what's up? I'm one of those guys in the gym that I'm throwing around weights and stuff. I'm yelling, I'm screaming in the mirror. It just excites me and it motivates me even more. I'm definitely physically prepared for this challenge. I'm looking to go after it.
And perhaps the most unsurprising move of the night, the shirt comes off.
Well, if you look like that, why not take your shirt off, no matter how cold it is?
There's his cousin Joe, clearly loving it. Joe's 2 years older than Rob, says they've always had a friendly rivalry ever since they were kids.
He's got long arms, so the rolling log shouldn't be a problem here.
And he is psyching himself up. Well, he's 6'3", 205 pounds, one of the bigger competitors to survive the rolling log there.
Light feet here, light feet.
Woo! Right through the bridge of blades.
Now, you talk about his weight at 205 pounds. I'll tell you, his weight can be a disadvantage here on the rope swing into cargo net. Oh, easy. Watch it now. Oh, boy, that's a lot of upper body strength he's using.
Moravsky looking solid. His cousin Joe, the unheralded weatherman who made a name for himself by making it all the way to stage 3 last year, inspired Rob to come out and compete, and so far Rob making the most of this. Moravsky just a specimen of a man with that chiseled physique. This is a guy who clearly loves to work out, loves to put on a show, has to be enjoying himself here tonight. Not just the physical challenge, but the fact that he gets to show off his muscles.
Moravsky with a long wingspan at 6'3", steady on the transition, but at 205 pounds, this second ladder is going to be a test. Uh-oh, get that momentum going here. He's tiring out. He is tiring out. He's got to get that thing tilted.
Those hands.
He's fighting for his life.
Holding on. He's got it. Look at the intensity on Moravsky's face.
You almost had to watch your feet there, big buddy. Uh-oh.
So close. Has to
That's
read
it.
Oh! This guy's a villain from an 80s karate movie. I love him. Look at that hair. One obstacle away from the city finals.
Boy, Moravsky is so intense right now. He is focused. That's it.
Right up it. Everything. Moravsky has done it.
You don't think he's psyched out right now?
The only thing this guy loves more than being atop the warp wall is himself.
Boy, he's bringing that football-type intensity right now.
I have a new favorite competitor, and his name is Rob Moravsky.
That was as dynamic a run as you will see. He powered his way through the double tilt ladder and exploded up the warped wall.
Let's go to Jenn Brown, who's standing by with the new hero.
Congratulations, Rob, getting a hug there from Cousin Joe. Get a hug. I'll give you a hug. I think you're one of the most intense competitors I've ever seen on our course, by the way. What's going through your mind as you're running it?
When I first started, I didn't think I was going to be like that. I got past a couple obstacles, I lost it. I freaked out. It felt so good. I want to go again.
Well, you will get to go again in the city finals. Congratulations. Definitely not lacking confidence, this one, by the way. Great job out there tonight. We will see you in the city finals. Matt, up to you.
Well, his fellow ninjas christened him the Adonis.
Rob Moravsky making quite the impression here tonight in St. Louis.
Coming up, Travis Rosen has returned. But has the stock trader from Tennessee reached the end of his prime? Or is his best yet to come? Plus, Brent Ruffin is on the hunt for his first trip to a city finals course. And Joe the Weatherman Moravsky is back, and his forecast calls for victory. Will he earn a spot in the St. Louis City Finals? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior in St. Louis. While we were away, we had some exciting runs on the course. New Jersey gym owner Michael Needham flew through the course, and the three-time Ninja Warrior veteran turned in one of the best times of the night. 27-year-old Michael the Stallion Salenzi from Antioch, Illinois, was setting a blistering pace until his ill-advised attempt to leap to the platform sent him home early.
Oh! Right on his face!
Mia Lazarevich, a 30-year-old personal trainer from Malden, Massachusetts, spun out on the rolling log. And dressed for success, Kansas City store manager Donovan Matoyer was hoping to make a grand debut. But instead, his dress suit was turned into a wetsuit. Up next at the starting line, from Chicago, it's Ethan Swanson. For his job, Ethan does risk assessment for insurance companies. But for fun, he takes incredible risks with his own life.
My name is Ethan Swanson. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Chicago, and I'm an actuary. My job is just to sit behind a desk to crunch numbers, deal with mathematical formulas. My career as an actuary compared to what I do in my free time is kind of two clashing forces. I like to jump off buildings. I think that being a job where I have to be very calculated and logical, whenever I'm about to perform a dangerous stunt, I do everything I can to make it as safe as possible. The past half year or so, I've really been kicking into training for American Ninja Warrior. So I say the probability of me making it through, I would give myself maybe 25%.
This guy is truly insane. Honestly, it's stomach-turning watching his videos.
Yeah, when you pop in the tape and you see that, the first thing you ask yourself is, what? With a big question mark at the end of that.
Not looking like a daredevil so far. Very cautious approach early on. There's his friend and fellow competitor Dan Polizzi pumping up the crowd. Now ready for the log rip.
Oh! Very close to touching the water with his foot there. We may have to take a look at that again.
He just told his friend I was that close.
But if there's any doubt, the referees always let the athlete continue, then take a look at the replay once the run is completed. Hopefully this will hold up.
Right now, he just needs speed to get by the Bridge of Blades.
He's done it. 5'9", 155 pounds. Picture an actuary being quite a nerd, but again, when you see this guy's video, he is an athlete. Well, with each obstacle he survives, his odds go up.
You know, there's risk, there's fatigue, there's a lot of things that factor in here, and right now, he's on his way.
Swanson tried to get on the course as a walk-on last year, wasn't selected, so this is his first time on the course, and now facing the double tilt ladder.
He enjoys rock climbing, and he's looking at home here on the double tilt ladder.
Yeah, he's got a great run going. I hope this doesn't get overturned, though, by the replay.
Going for the transition. Swanson's got it.
Ethan isn't afraid of anything.
He's done this hundreds, if not thousands of feet above the ground, and some of the crazy situations he's placed himself in.
If you can fight for your life, you can fight for a chance to make it to the finals in American Ninja Warrior. Look at this.
He's done it. One obstacle left.
Now, here's one thing you can't make up. Technique. You're gonna need technique for this.
Beat that wall! Beat that wall! Come on, man, come on!
First attempt on the warp wall.
And right up it goes Swanson. He's done it. And a strong run out of the rookie, and I hope it holds up. But before we celebrate too much, now that we have a chance, Akbar, let's go back and take a look at the rolling log. It seemed very close to touching the water.
Well, let's slow it down. I know his legs started to come off near the end, and oh no, look at that. You can see a slight splash of water right there.
Just grazed it. But unfortunately, by rule, that means he's out at the log grip, and our referees have just given Ethan the news. I'm sure he's heartbroken. Let's go down to Jenn Brown.
Thanks, Matt. All right, Ethan, I know you made it to the top of the warp wall, but we did review the tape back, and unfortunately your foot did touch the water there on the rolling log. So that does mean that you're disqualified. What's going through your mind right now on that?
Should have had my foot up a little bit more, a couple inches. But I gotta train harder and hope I can grip on more. It's nobody's fault but my own.
Well, I know that you did work really hard, and you made it up the warp wall, and it was such a small, minor thing. So I hope that you can, use that to build on and come back next season.
Hope so. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Matt. Back up to you.
Coming up, can aspiring veterinarian Amy Pajic become the third woman ever to summit the warp wall? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. It's an unseasonably cool night on American Ninja Warrior's first visit to St. Louis. Ninja Warrior veteran Chris Wilczewski among the competitors trying to stay warm. And there's Rob Moravsky, who completed the course earlier, hanging with his cousin Joe Moravsky. You see the weatherman's run later on. At the starting line right now, one of the most impressive female athletes we'll see all season. It's Amy Pajic, a 24-year-old veterinary student at The Ohio State University. She combines her love of animals with her love of American Ninja Warrior.
This is my third year in vet school at The Ohio State University. I really enjoy the sciences in school and working with horses. When you're horseback riding, it's a lot of hard work. You're always moving your body here and there. You're out of breath by the end of a good ride.
She may be small and soft-spoken, but don't let this mild-mannered future veterinarian fool you. She's a world-class athlete.
I hope to surprise a lot of people. When people first see me, I'm just a short little girl and they don't think I can do anything. But that's my favorite thing to do, is prove them wrong.
Amy hoping to follow in the footsteps of her friend Michelle Warnke, make it all the way to the top of the warp wall. There's Michelle and Amy's cousin Mitch Pajic, who's also competing here tonight. It's Amy's first year on the course. It'd be quite a feat. She could make it up the warp wall in her first year.
But she has a very diverse background. She is both a rock climber and an endurance runner.
She's wearing her trademark hat, so that's her signature look.
You think Amy's thinking about impressing her cousin Mitch?
If she can hold on to the rolling log, that'll go a long way. Look at that momentum.
Woo! The hat comes off, but she doesn't. Pajic survives the rolling log.
She is a serious athlete. Talk about endurance. She finished a 100-mile ultra marathon with the hairline fracture in her left foot, and she makes short work of the Bridge of Blades.
She only weighs 120 pounds, so she's got to get a good jump on the mini tramp. There it is.
As you mentioned, does a lot of rock climbing.
Okay, now this can be tricky here for Amy. Amy has to get off. Oh, there she is.
So impressive for a woman to have the upper body strength to hang on to that cargo net.
What Amy Pajic just did there was simply amazing.
Well, it used to be women making it to the fifth obstacle was newsworthy. But with Michelle Warnke and Casey Catanzaro, the expectations have been raised. Let's see what Amy Padgett can do here on the double tilt ladder.
She's only 5'2½", so she's got to work harder to reach every rung on the ladder.
Well, her strength is her endurance. Let's see what her upper body has left. Can she make the transition? Building up the momentum. She's got it.
Boy, Amy Padgett is tough. You know, the only thing I'm afraid of is the amount of time she spent on the rope swing into cargo net.
Stuck on the pivot. Look at that grip strength, though. Doesn't give up. I love the determination here out of Amy Padgett. Look at this.
Wow! And Padgett has a chance to become the second woman to advance to the St. Louis City Finals.
But fatigue is going to be a factor here, as well as her inexperience. She's a rookie, Matt. She's never faced a warped wall before.
So long, this was the glass ceiling for women, but it's been shattered. Oh! Had one hand up, so close.
Boy, that looked close there.
Second attempt.
Oh, she got so close. She literally just needs to find one more inch, and she'll have it.
Only Casey Catanzaro and Michelle Warnke have ever made it up.
It's all willpower. She's got to have the will to win.
She has had one hand on it, but can't hold on. Amy Padgett with a valiant effort, but goes out on the warp wall.
You know, this year we've seen women compete at the highest level, and Amy Padgett didn't disappoint. That last attempt, she got even closer. Look at it. Her fingers are just over the top, but she couldn't hang on.
Amy, you were so close.
I know. It's so close, but I'm really happy I made it as far as I did.
I mean, you should be so proud. You had the whole place on their feet. Take me through the warp wall. You were so close. Is there something you would have done differently?
I don't know. Maybe just run a little harder.
Well, you did make it to the 6 obstacles, so hopefully you went far enough, fast enough. Maybe we'll see you in the city finals.
Knock on wood, yeah.
All right, you can knock on the warp wall. All right, guys, back up to you.
Thanks, Jen. And with that exciting run, Ohio native Amy Padgett currently sits in 21st place. Remember, the top 30 athletes advance to the St. Louis City Finals. Amy will need a little bit of luck if she hopes to stay in the running, as we still have many strong athletes yet to take the course. Coming up, Brent Ruffin, the Redneck Ninja, brought his talents to St. Louis.
I want to be the most dominant guy out there, and I want people to know it.
Will this high-flying hillbilly hit the buzzer? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. It's been a cool night here in St. Louis for our American Ninja Warrior qualifying, but some of our top competitors are starting to heat things up. Veteran Andrew Carson cruised through the course, and the environmental technician from Waterford, Michigan, turned in one of the best times of the night.
I love seeing the father looking at his son so proud.
5-time veteran Dan Galazinski stalled out at the warp wall.
You got this!
But the gymnastics coach from Ivyland, Pennsylvania rallied and eventually reached the top. Mitch Padgett, a chiropractic assistant from Crystal, Minnesota, looked strong in his first appearance. Like his cousin Amy, he made it to the warp wall, but he went one better and finished the course. Things didn't go quite so well for walk-on Joshua Sanchez. The security guard from Belleville, New Jersey made a remarkable save on the spinning log.
Great recovery there out of Sanchez.
Only to go out seconds later at the cargo net. Up next, one of the most versatile athletes we'll see tonight. Brent Ruffin is an acrobatic dunker during the Memphis Grizzlies NBA games. He's a former MMA fighter, but he's also known as the Redneck Ninja.
Growing up, I did a lot of hunting. I hunt deer, duck, turkey, squirrel, any kind of animal that you can find in North America. My favorite style of hunting is bow hunting. I like it because it's more primitive. I mean, you're having to get in the woods, learn the animals, learn their patterns, learn their habitat. I love just being out in the woods by myself and just kind of letting go of everything. People have called me the Redneck Ninja. That's just how it is.
Brent's girlfriend, sister, and his mom all came over from the Memphis area to watch tonight. I'm gonna say, I like this guy. Explosive athleticism, a former MMA fighter, a rugby player. Athletically brings so much to the table.
You know, and man, this is why I like him. We've seen for so long the parkour and the free runners have some success, but he has an interesting background with football and soccer and wrestling.
At 6 feet 177, one of the bigger athletes to survive the rolling log.
You got it, Brent.
Now Brent at the bridge of blades, which requires nimble feet and agility.
Brent dives. Oh, that's how you do it, big guy.
Well, Ruffin says he's been training hard on Ninja Warrior type obstacles for the past year. Again, an acro dunker. He's comfortable on the mini tramp.
Boy, using that 177 pounds to gain momentum, that's it. That's good.
But mass, again, a factor on the double tilt ladder, 177 pounds. What does he have in his upper body?
You know, one thing you can say about an acro dunker is that they have very good core strength. And with the double tilt ladder, you need not only the core strength, but you need that upper body strength to help you maneuver, going back and forth, up and down here.
Great body control out of Brent Ruffin. He's got it. 6 feet, long arms, serving well, makes the transition. Look at him smiling. He's having a great time out there.
This is fun for Brent Ruffin. When you're competing, you have to have fun. If you don't enjoy it, if this is not your lifestyle, you're not going to be successful.
Well, this is a guy who's used to competing in arenas in front of 20,000 people. Now he's competing in front of millions.
It's all about making that final calculated leap.
And he's done it! Brent Ruffin staring down the warp wall. An obstacle he's never faced before. Can the Redneck Ninja do it?
Beat that wall! Beat that wall! Beat that wall!
And there it is. The Redneck Ninja with the solid run and he's completed this qualifying course. I see you, Brent Ruffin. Huh? Congratulations, buddy.
Brent impressively handled his 6 feet, 177-pound frame through the double tilt and conquered the wall in his first attempt. The Redneck Ninja is heading to the city finals.
And here's a look at our new leaderboard. The New Jersey Ninja, Joseph Heineman, is currently in first. Captain NBC Jamie Ron occupies fourth. And the Redneck Ninja, Brent Ruffin, is sitting in eighth, with a few of our top competitors yet to run. Coming up, after his hard fall last season, can Michael Bernardo bounce back? Plus,
American Ninja Warrior Season 6.
At 39 years old, veteran Travis Rosen hopes to prove that age is just a number. Can the Tennessee Trader turn back the clock? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns.
I think he's gonna jump.
What a rough fall that was for Bernardo. A hard landing for Michael Bernardo last year in the Baltimore qualifying round. Certainly left an impression on our viewers, possibly as deep as the impression his face made in that landing pad. But now he's back to prove that last year's fall was a fluke. He's competed 5 times in American Ninja Warrior, always wears his uniform as a way to honor fellow firefighters.
I'm a firefighter, paramedic, and rescue man for the DC Fire and EMS department. 1 minute you're trying to lay down at 2 in the morning, the next minute you got to get up again and go help somebody's grandmother's having a heart attack. You might be running upstairs with 50 pounds of gear on. I feel like the stress that you go through, the really jarring irregularity of our job has always helped me out on the course. I will be the first American Ninja Warrior because I've got the power to climb the tower.
Stripping down the firefighter gear. I assure you he's actually a firefighter. This isn't the beginning of some act. You can hear the passion the fans and the other ninjas have for Bernardo. Not necessarily one of the most accomplished ninjas, but certainly one of the most passionate. He loves this sport. This is his 5th time competing here.
He grew up in a military family, so he has some discipline. That's what you're gonna need on the rolling log. A lot of discipline.
Last year I had the pleasure of calling him up, telling him he was a wild card into Las Vegas. came out, was just thrilled to be competing there. See how he approaches the bridge of blades. Bernardo has made mental mistakes in the past.
Wait, what is he doing?
I don't know, Matt. If you take the slow, methodical approach, it's like a human maze. One false step and you're done. Have a plan, buddy.
Can't use your hands on the bridge of blades.
Oh, no, what happened? Just slid off.
Talk about a plan backfiring. I don't even know if he had a plan. All night long, we've seen that speed is your ally on this obstacle, but Michael Bernardo chose to take the slow approach, and it cost him.
Well, a disappointing run for Michael Bernardo. You can see the frustration. Let's go down to Jenn Brown.
Hey, Michael, I know you've got to be disappointed over here. I just wanted to grab you for a second. What went wrong out there? Because we definitely didn't expect that to happen with you.
Well, it's something I've done in the past, past competitions. It should be a simple thing, but you know, you hesitate, and you know, I had planned to stride it the whole way, and I got up there, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. It's a huge letdown, but you know, I'm gonna keep at this as long as they'll let me.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jen.
Now at the starting line, a member of the successful American team that beat Japan, Travis Rosen, a stock trader from Franklin, Tennessee. He may be the oldest competitor chosen for Team USA. Travis doesn't see his age as a disadvantage.
This is my 5th year on American Ninja Warrior, started in season 2. This is, on average, I would say, a young man's sport because physiologically speaking, you know, you can only do so much up to a certain age, but thankfully I'm 39 and I'm still going, getting stronger every year, so I like my chances.
There's his wife, Carrie, and his kids, Caden and Abigail, rooting for him in the stands. Travis says he wants to hit 6 buzzers this season. 1 here tonight in qualifying, 1 in the city finals, and then the 4 stages of Mount Midoriyama in Las Vegas. So strong from the beginning on American Ninja Warrior and has just gotten better with age. Last year had his best performance ever, making it to stage 3, stepped up his training, believes total victory is within his grasp.
He has 3 kids, so I don't know when he finds the time to train.
Well, he was so impressive in the Team USA versus Japan competition. I think Rosen's so pleased to be selected for that. Has been one of the most consistent performers. It's truly amazing what this man is doing at 39 years of age.
Well, he was a gymnast at the University of Iowa, so he always seems so fluid on obstacles like the double tilt ladder. The other thing that's impressive about Travis Rosen right now, 3 weeks ago, he found out that he has a bone spur in his elbow, so not only is it cold, but he's also fighting through an injury.
He's so strong. His family's such a big part of his life. Make sure his children are involved with his training. He's a father first, a husband second.
Matt, there's nothing that's stopping Travis
and
Rosen.
a Ninja Warrior third.
A great ambassador for American Ninja Warrior.
Rosen taking a measured approach here on the warp wall. And right up it. Travis Rosen takes the first of what he calls his quest for all 6 buzzers. Travis Rosen completes the qualifying course. A great run.
Well, you know, to be good is not good enough if you dream of being great.
Travis Rosen looking out into the crowd, pointing at his family.
Those legs may be 39, but check out that textbook technique. His body is centered over his legs, and with a perfectly timed burst of speed, he runs straight to the top.
Well, has to be feeling like $1 million right now. Travis Rosen headed to the St. Louis City Finals.
Up next, we saw his cousin, Rob the Adonis Moravsky, deliver an electric debut that still has St. Louis buzzing.
Rob Moravsky has done it.
Yeah, baby! Can his older cousin, the weatherman, Joe Moravsky, steal his thunder? Find out when American Ninja Warrior returns. Welcome back to American Ninja Warrior. While we were away, 4 more competitors took to the course with mixed results. Mount Midoriyama veteran Dan Hot Dog Michella from Jersey City, New Jersey, failed to relish his time on the course, took a dive on the transfer to the cargo net. 22-year-old Brian Wilczewski showed that last year's performance was no fluke.
The engineering student from Mount Laurel, New Jersey, turned in a calculated run that landed him in the city finals for the second straight year. And joining Brian is his 24-year-old big brother, veteran Chris Wilczewski. The Mount Laurel, New Jersey gym owner, who failed to make it out of the qualifying round last year, staked his claim to the city finals. But it was their training partner, newcomer Aaron Himmelreich, who bested both Wilczewski brothers. The 23-year-old metal fabricator forged the fastest time of the night so far. And we are down to the final runner of the night.
Now walking up to the starting line, 25-year-old meteorologist Joe the Weatherman Moravsky from Sherman, Connecticut. Joe has a lot on his mind, and there's his fiancée, Stephanie. They're getting married in 5 days.
Brainstorm the design for a groom's cake. So there's a big change in my life this year. I get to marry my longtime fiancée, Stephanie.
Finalize your flower proposal. I'm doing that currently.
Planning a wedding obviously is very stressful.
Shop for and buy your wedding rings. Yeah, we're gonna do that today.
You know, what kind of silverware? What kind of chairs do we need? You know, let's make sure the carpet at the venue is pretty good. You know, we don't want to have an ugly carpet, God forbid.
Organize the day of emergency kit.
What does that mean?
Ninja Warrior has conflicted a little bit with the wedding as far as like when he's working out and things like that, but I'm totally supportive of him and I know he could do it.
To be completely honest, the wedding has distracted me a little bit from training.
Who's gonna bring up the gifts?
I'm a little concerned, but you know, totally excited to take it on.
I bet $500,000 would go a long way to paying for a memorable wedding. So Stephanie has to be watching this one closely, along with cousin Rob, who finished earlier. There's Amy Pagic. She's currently on the bubble in the 30th spot after making it to the work wall. She could be one of the few women to qualify for the city finals, but it all depends on how Joe finishes. .510, 160 last year, unheralded, went all the way to stage 3 of Mount Midoriyama.
Quick feet, quick feet.
And I gotta tell you, this guy looks like he's got it for the top time.
Yes, he is. He's going for it. Boy, using speed as his ally here.
Wow, Moravsky is determined to make short work of this qualifying course. We saw his cousin Rob get all the way through it, but Joe is blazing through this course in record time. Unbelievable.
Well, Matt, if there's one way to defeat fatigue, and that's using speed, the tempo he's using right now eliminates the opportunity for all that lactic acid to build up.
Well, last year made it to stage 3, felt he was overlooked for Team USA, wants to make sure his name is in the mix. Look at the pin.
Hey, there it is.
He's back, Joe Moravsky.
We see
look
it,
at
Joe.
this. Right up the wall. He's going for the fastest time.
And he's got it the fastest time of the night by nearly 30 seconds.
Moravsky with a lightning pace here.
Boy, he just handcuffed lightning and threw thunder in jail.
Way
That's
behind
speed.
that, Joe. The weatherman delivers on his forecast of success with the fastest time of the night by nearly half a minute.
Matt, Joe Moravsky was a force of nature on this course. Check this out. On the double tilt ladder, Joe keeps his shoulder near his elbows and his arms bent at 90 degrees, which allows him to keep his body weight under control. It's textbook technique like that that helped him crush this course.
Well, Joe's finish unfortunately means Amy Pagic knocked out of the top 30. She came inches from making it up the warp wall, joining the friend you see with her right there, Michelle Warnke.
You're awesome.
So an outstanding run from the weatherman slams the door shut on an exciting St. Louis qualifying round.
An incredible 25 competitors completed the course, the most we've seen in any city so far,
Led by the weatherman Joe Moravsky, who finished in just 1:04 seconds. At 39 years old, the Tennessee trader Travis Rosen finished in 6th, while Captain NBC Jamie Ron followed closely in 8th. The Adonis Rod Moravsky lands in 12th. Michelle Warnke places 19th. After the 25 competitors who completed the qualifying course, we take the athletes who went the farthest, the fastest. Wrestler Matt Cappuccioni and 50-year-old Carlos Canadilla just missed the cut. Our next stop, Miami, where we'll see a talented field that includes two of the very best, Drew Greshel and Idoko Abu. For Akbar, Gbaja-Biamila, and Jenn, I'm Matt Iseman, and we'll see you next time on American Ninja Warrior.
He's worked harder than anyone to overcome one thing no other warrior ever has. On the next all-new American Ninja Warrior.
This is the first time we've ever had an amputee on our course.
We can do anything we put our minds to. The sky's the limit. You put your mind to it, you let your heart believe it, and you make your body do it.
NBC's American Ninja Warrior, Mondays 9/8 Central, and watch Encores Tuesdays on Esquire and Sundays on NBC. On an all-new Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Clint Eastwood drops by. NBC Tonight.